Hello, my name is Sylvia. I live in Barcelona. I'm personal trainer and health and lifestyle coach. And today I'd like to tell you about my first breakthrough I had with Terryann, which is something really incredible and amazing, and it really changed my life. And I'm not just saying it like this, it really changed my life. I wouldn't be where I'm now and how I am today without this breakthrough, which took 1 hour, one session. And I have to tell you this because it's so powerful. So I have to start from the beginning, which is around 5 years ago when I was living in the south of Germany. I just had split up with a boyfriend, and he came to my house, my apartment, to talk to me about us, the relationship, and he wanted to get back with me, and I didn't. So we were arguing for about 2 hours. And then he left, like really kind of sad. But like 10 minutes later, he came back, and his face, his eyes had completely changed. I just saw it in his eyes that something was wrong. He came inside, he locked the door, and there were another 10 minutes of arguing until he started beating me, he started strangling me, he threw me around the flat. And then he put his arm around my neck and held with his other hand he held my mouth and my nose closed, so I couldn't breathe, and it was just, he was running amok. And I couldn't breathe. I'm lifting weights, so I was quite strong and I could defend myself a little bit, but the moment I could breathe and shout for help, he got me in the same position again. So I was really struggling. I was really fighting for my life. And well, I survived, obviously, and like the neighbors came and helped. But after this, I was really scared of any man. I was scared in general. I worked in a gym, and there were, as a manager, and there were men and women coming to me asking me questions all the time and wanted to go out of the contract. And there were always situations where I had to say no, I'm sorry, no. And saying no, I felt really scared by saying no, because I had kind of learned that saying no to a man is dangerous. I imagined that this man, if I'm going to say no, like, what he asked me, do you know what time it is? And I said, no, I don't know. I imagined him beating me because I said no. So I was kind of paranoid. But only a few weeks later, I met another guy, and I thought that as he lives 500 kilometers away and he was just there because of work, and we had this special moment when we met, I can just get to know him very slowly because we see each other every second weekend, and I thought it's okay. But actually, like there was this night where we were sitting in my place having drinking wine, and I was having a really good time. We were talking about our childhoods. Like, I was telling him I grew up with the boys, and we fought a lot, like playing. I have a driver's license for a motorbike. I like hard boot camps, like just hard workouts. And for me, it was just really enjoying getting to know each other. But suddenly he said, man, you're such a tomboy. And I started laughing. I thought he was joking, but he wasn't. And he was like, wow, you crazy. And he started insulting me. And then I thought, my God, it's really enough now. It's not fun anymore if he's joking. But he didn't stop. And then he just left. And I couldn't say anything. I was just so shocked because it was in this place where 3 weeks before I had this horrible experience with my ex. So I was really shocked, and that deepened my fear a little bit more. The next day, 2 days later, he came back to my house. He had driven 500 kilometers home and 500 kilometers back to my place to say sorry. And I was in the same situation. He was saying, please give me a chance. And I couldn't say no. I just, inside I was like, no, I don't want to get back with you. But I just said, I need time, because I was scared. If I say no, he's going to beat me up. So as I knew he's able to come 500 kilometers just to say sorry, I was kind of scared to say no. So it was a weekend where I went to his place, and well, to cut a long story short, in the evening we started another little argument. He started insulting me again, and I said, you know what, I'm going to stay at my grandmother's place, and this is it. And then again, he started beating me in the middle of the street. He hit me 3 times on my head. Few people came running to help me, and after that I was even more scared. And I thought, okay, I really need a break now of man. I'm gonna stay single as long as it takes to find the right one. I don't want to get in another relationship like this, an abusive relationship. And I'm gonna wait, even if it's gonna take 5 years, I'm gonna wait for the right one. So a year later, I met the guy. I thought he was the right one, but actually he was the worst, because it wasn't just one aggressive experience or aggressive moment with him. It was 14 months. Like, he threatened me, he humiliated me almost every day. He got violent. Like, I used to have his fingerprints on my arm every three weeks. He held 3 times a knife to my throat. He said, I know where you live, I know where you work. If you leave me, I go and chuck some acid in your face so that no man looks at your face again, and stuff like this. I was really scared. 14 months of hell, the worst time of my life. And at the end, I during the whole time, I kind of knew that this has to end really badly. I can't just say, okay, you know, I'm gonna leave, or you're gonna leave. It wasn't possible, and it happened. So the night he beat me up worse than the first guy, and another experience where I was fighting for my life, and after this, I just couldn't walk around without being scared of men. Just in the day, in the night, whenever I walked somewhere, I was scared that a man would come and hit me. So I was really, really paranoid and scared. And there was one day where I was at a friend's place. I remember I was lying on the bed. He was sitting there. We were just talking. I was telling him about a friend I have, a male friend. And while I was talking, I imagined that he hates me telling about another guy, that he's gonna hit me now. And he kind of noticed that. He's like, what's wrong? What's up? And I explained it to him, like all these experiences I had, and that now I'm scared, although I know you're not going to do anything, but I still have this fear. And he said, okay, well, you know what? You need a breakthrough. So he put me in touch with Terryann. Like, I think it was the next day where I had the breakthrough with her. And as I already said, it was just 1 hour. And after this, I never, ever felt fear again. I stepped on the street. I went into the metro. I sat down. A guy who you could see that he was mentally ill sat next to me. I had my iPod in my ears, and he tipped me like he couldn't even speak properly, and he wanted to know what time it is. So I said it's whatever, 5 o'clock, and put my earphones back in. And then he tipped me again, and I said yes. And then he wanted to give me his hand. He wanted to say hello. He wanted to get to know me. And normally I would have shaken the hand, because I thought, if I don't do this, he's gonna hit me. He's gonna go crazy. I would have been even more afraid, because you could see that he's mentally ill. But this time, I just said, no, I don't want to get to know you. I put my earphones back in, and I was okay. I wasn't scared, not at any time. And sorry. I had lots of other different moments where I knew that normally I would have started shaking, I would have started crying, would have run off, or just be scared. But it didn't come back. So up till now, it's been 3 years now that I had this breakthrough with Terryann. So now I'm in a new relationship. I had my time after this breakthrough. It's, for me, the perfect relationship. I really found the partner to spend the rest of my life with, and I think I have to thank Terryann for this, because that made such a big change in me, that not being scared and not attracting these type of guys who are abusive with me. So yeah, I do breakthroughs with Terryann now and again because I know they're very powerful and they're worth every cent, and I would have even paid 10 times more if I knew that she was gonna release me of this fear and pain, and that I could be completely happy now. Yeah, I just want to say thank you again, Terryann. The happiness I'm feeling right now, or this constant happiness without feeling fear, is thanks to you, and in part as well being in this great relationship I'm having. And whoever's watching this, you have to try Breakthrough if you haven't done it before. It helps every time. Breakthroughs go so deep. You always find things you're amazed of and you're surprised of, and you couldn't reach these things without Terryann, without the breakthrough. So thanks for listening, and thanks again, Terryann, and we'll speak soon.